Hello, everyone, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. Today we have an amazing guest, one of our clients, Ethan Osman. He is from Chicago. He's 17. He got his business to, what was your best day, like $4,000 a day?
In August, when I had my clothing brand drop, I did 8,000 in 30 minutes. So
$80,000 in 30
no,
minutes.
8,000.
$8,000 in 30 minutes.
Yep.
Let's fucking go, man. So excited to chat with you. Also, the way you just like streamlined your work, created like a work environment. I think there's a lot to learn from that. Also, how you approach school. For those of you guys who are like still in school, considering whether you want to do school, you want to do business, you want to get into entrepreneurship. I think you have some great insights on that as well. So excited to have you, my man.
For sure. I'm excited.
Cool, my man. So yeah, tell me your story. Like, how did you get into entrepreneurship at such a young age?
So my whole life, I've been surrounded by entrepreneurship. Like my uncles, each one of them is entrepreneur. Uh, my one uncle, he exited his business for lots of millions of dollars. So I have big connections there. But I've always been surrounded by that, and I just never really took action. I mean, I did little side hustles because I've always had that mindset, but I never took big action. And until now, it was about September 2023. I remember I was scrolling on TikTok and I saw this clothing brand, and I was like, you know what, I want to start doing this stuff. So then I made a clothing brand, and it was not something good to get into at the start because you can't drop ship. You have to put money up front to make clothes and designs and all that. So that didn't do that good. And I remember it was November 11th, and I did my first drop. No SMS, no email. I had like 60 followers, and I thought I was gonna do like $1,000 the first day. And then I remember I got one sale, and it was someone that lived in the neighborhood next to me. I was really sad about that, but it's all a learning lesson. That's what I take life as. It's all a learning lesson. So I'm glad I did that stuff. But over the course of probably 5 months, I was posting like every single day. I didn't have the best product, obviously, but I was still posting every single day. My content wasn't the best, but like I said, it's a learning lesson. And I did around 2,500 in like 8 months of grinding. So I didn't see results at all. And it was June 2024, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start one more time. I'm gonna redo everything. So I started a brand called Born Sinner, and I had this person in Europe make me a design. And shout out to him. He blessed me with the design. It's called a biblical angel. I have the zip up over here, but it was a zip up, and I started working with China because before I forgot to mention I was working with Pakistan. The biggest
Uh-huh.
mistake. They made like all my bulk dirty. It had, like stains on it and everything. So that was a big mistake. And they also scammed me for a couple grand. But anyways, I started a new brand, and I remember I started making content. It was right when school ended, so it's when life was getting better again. It was summer, and then that's when I'm happy, like when it's summer and spring. And I was like, all right, I'm motivated. I'm gonna keep going. So I started posting at the end of May, and it was every single day, and my content was getting way better. So I was making good. I mean, it's kind of different for clothing brands. It's just like like type photo shoot type videos. You just take videos of them wearing it or whatever. And I was improving on that. And it was every single day I was posting 2 to 3 times a day across TikTok and Instagram, and I was seeing no results. And it was just an everyday grind. And that's what Mark tells me. He says, you're gonna be working every single day. And you're not gonna see results right away. That's how it is. And I kept working, but I also didn't have guidance. I was in a Discord. I paid for a community. It was around $500, and I mean, one of my coaches was good, but the main guy, he was just doing it for money. He was like a money scheme. So it
Mhm.
wasn't that good. And I wasn't getting the best mentorship. And that's what I recommend everybody in here do, is to invest in a mentorship because it's going to change your life. Um, but I was just posting every single day. And I remember it was I posted this one reel, and I saw this reel, like I saw an inspiration, and I was like, I'm going to make this. It was a very good hook. And I was like, this is going to do good. So I remember posting it at around 12 o'clock. No, it was July 22nd. I still remember the day. And I remember that night I was sitting at my computer doing work, and I saw it had 700 likes. I was like, oh, this is doing good. And then I went to sleep the next day, and I had to go to football lifting because I was in football at the time. And I remember at 12,000 likes, and I was like, this is finally like the breaking point. And later that day, it surpassed 1 million views, and I replied to every single comment too, just to like keep the relationship towards the customer, because I know that would help my what's it called, just conversion, because they feel connection. So I was
Mhm.
replying to every single comment, and it would just blew up my account. I gained like 10,000 followers in a day. It's kind of crazy for a clothing brand because most people, that doesn't really happen. But it was pretty crazy. And I kept posting and posting and posting. And then I remember I was like, all right, I'm going to drop August 10th. But, I had to pre-make every piece. So I had to have money up front. And I used all the money I had. I could only make 100 pieces. So, and I had there was so much desire for this product. I was like, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to sell out. I had people telling me, like, only buy 50 pieces. Don't buy a lot of pieces. It's not going to sell out. And then I kept posting every day. And I forgot to mention, over the night I had the viral video. I gained around 4,000 SMS. And I didn't know that the international SMS costed like 20 cents a text.
Oh,
So
wow.
actually, it racked up a bill of $600 overnight, and I only had $200. So I was suffering from success, but I didn't have the money to pay the bill. And fortunately, my mom helped me out with that in the meantime. And I was really stressing out. I remember I was at breakfast and I looked at my phone and it said $600, and I thought it was a mistake in the system, but I didn't have the money. And yeah, it was really rough at that time. But I'm like, all right, it's gonna pay off in like 5 days, because I had my drop August 10th. And I remember I was sitting at my desk and I was gonna send the SMS out, and I made lots of mistakes because it's different for clothing brands. You're supposed to make a post about the drop. You're supposed to send SMS. You're supposed to send emails or whatever. And I didn't make a post or anything. And I tried sending my SMS, but it ended up delaying for 3 hours. Like, it didn't send. And then I was like, oh no, this is not good. All of a sudden, like, the desire was so high that without SMS, people remembered the time and wanted it so bad that I still got 8,000 in sales in 30 minutes with no SMS or anything. So
Wow.
it was pretty crazy. I didn't expect that to happen. And hold on. I just felt like when you feel that accomplishment of everything paying off, I can't really explain it. You just get so much dopamine. You're like, it's finally paid off. Like, it feels great. And I remember I had to ship all those orders out, obviously, because I didn't have the 3PL. It was all in my room. So I spent like 12 hours, or not 12 hours, it was around 10 hours just packaging orders. And I handwrit all like over 100 notes in every package. It took me like that's what I did for a long time. I handwrit every single note to every customer because I really wanted to have that connection. So
Mhm.
that worked out pretty well, but it took a long time. It took a lot of time and energy to do that. And over time, it was stacking up orders. So I kept posting, and that's before I ran any ads. I didn't run any ads before that. So then I started getting into ads, and my CPA was pretty good. I had around a $9 CPA, and I spent X amount of money, so it was pretty good. And over time, it was stacking up orders, and I kept putting in like new orders from Alibaba because I had to get everything pre-made. So that's why I don't recommend clothing brands, because everything has to be pre-made, and
Mm.
it takes a long time. Because without a 3PL, it took them a month to make it, and then it takes a whole month to sea ship it here.
Yeah.
And your margins are also not good at all. Like, I paid $29 to get it. No, it was 34 including shipping, like just to my house, and I still had to pay for shipping on top of that. So it was around $40.
Wow.
I could only sell it for like $70. So, and that's what I mean with ads. It's a bad margin. So I learned from that though. I'm glad I did it.
So what
And
was that, like hoodies or like t-shirts? Like which
it
kind of?
was I could grab it right here. It's a zip up. Hold on, let me grab it.
Uh-huh.
So it's a zip up with a screen print design, and
Uh-huh.
it's about Christianity because I'm a Christian, and it's a
Uh-huh.
different media. So it's pretty simple, but the quality is insane. Like, you could sell this for like $200, like at a high quality website or a high quality brand. Like,
Uh-huh.
it's the same quality, but I didn't make my brand high quality. It was like a just average Instagram brand. So Yeah, I was stacking up orders, and then I ended up working with a 3PL. It was a third party 3PL from the Discord I was in. And I remember the coaches were hyping it up so much, like this is the best thing for clothing brands. This is insane. I remember I was working with them, and the first day was good communication, everything. And this guy named Gon, I was texting him, and then they started shipping out my orders, and they told me it was 6 to 8 days shipping, like to the doorstep of the customer. I was like, all right,
From China.
yeah, I know. I'm like, I don't know if that's really true. And they started shipping out my orders because at that time I had all my clothing ready. It was September 23rd, and I had another drop. I just sent an SMS out. I did around, I don't remember how much. I just sold 150 hoodies that day. So
Mhm.
I did that drop, and I'm like, all right, I have this 3PL now. It could just be all automated. And at that time, I was feeling good. I thought everything would be going smooth, but it actually didn't. It was pretty rough after that because they started shipping out fake labels, so packages were getting lost.
Wow.
And the packages, it was not 6 to 8 days; it was around a month and a half to get to the customers. So I was getting chargebacks, mad emails. I couldn't do anything about it, and they stopped communicating with me. So I lost thousands and thousands of dollars because of that. And actually, I just stopped working with them because now I'm working with a different 3PL through BBA, and they're great. It's a great 3PL. They have great communication, completely different. But
Mhm.
yeah, I stopped working with them, and it took a long time to get my stuff out of there. And actually, it was during Black Friday, and I had orders coming in, and then apparently they stopped shipping orders out for 2 weeks before that, and they didn't tell me. And then I was like, "Why'd you stop shipping out orders?" She's like, "Oh, your one of your coaches said to cut ties." I'm like, "But I never said that. Like their coaches just said that we're not working with them anymore." But I never told them to stop shipping all my orders myself. So I had 2 weeks of orders stacked up, and it took them like 2 weeks to package orders. I kept texting. I'm like, please ship out my orders, ship out my orders, and they never responded. Like I could get more in depth on it, but it was just awful
Wow,
overall.
man.
So
What
I
what is
lost.
what is the name of that like 3PL so that people know?
I don't even know. It's I forgot what even. I think it's on the east side of China. I don't even know. Remember the name. I don't think I ever got the name.
Okay. So this is from China. This is Chinese 3PL.
Yep.
Got it. Okay. Uh
Yeah.
huh.
So yeah, it was somewhere in eastern China. I don't know. Um, but it was really bad, and it lost me lots of money. It's not a big 3PL. I mean, maybe for some drop shippers it could be one. They work with some drop shipping companies unless they lied to me about it, which I don't know. But
Hmm.
yeah, just make sure you work with the good fulfillment center because you could lose lots of money. That's why I recommend buying the good course and you have the mentors verifying that 3PL because the one I was in, it was just like they just signed a random deal with a random company and it was awful. But
Wow.
yeah, so I just transported my goods to a different fulfillment center, and now it's doing good. And I sent SMS out a couple days ago because I couldn't get orders for 2 months, so money was just burning out my pocket from subscriptions and chargebacks over the course of 2 months. I had no money coming in, and I just did a drop the other day. I just sent SMS out, and I just sent SMS. I'm like, because I had over 260 more hoodies left, so I had to get rid of it, and I sent SMS out the other day once it got to the 3PL. And I was like, all right, this is never coming back again. Get your thing. It's going to be exclusive. And I did around 4,000 last week in a day, um, just off of SMS. And then over the course, it's been like, I mean, I'm not hitting crazy numbers. I'm still hitting around 400, 500 a day, which is decent. But I'm also running ads now. So I don't know what my CPAs are. I have a ad manager to do all that now. But yeah, I'm doing consistent 400, $500 days to just get rid of that stuff. But really, the turning point was like, I forgot, I keep forgetting to mention these important things. In November, I remember I was lost. Like, I didn't know what to do because I wanted to get out of clothing. I'm like, there's definitely a thing that could get me like way higher in the ranks of business. I'm like, I don't know what to do because I've always been like, misled on drop shipping. Like
Hmm.
everybody else, like the gurus, like everybody says it's fake, it's not good. But that's when I was like, all right. So I started scrolling on YouTube. I remember I saw Mark. He had 800 subscribers. I'm like, I don't know who this guy is. It was just one video. I think he deleted it though. And he was just explaining how funnels work on Miro, I think it's called. And
Uh-huh.
I was like, I don't know what I never heard of funnels because I was in clothing brands, and I was like, this guy knows what he's talking about. This is awesome. And then I watched that video. I took every single video I watch. I take really descriptive notes on it. Like I don't play around with any of that, and I cut like everything out of my life. So I'm just completely locked in now, just work. And so yeah, I take videos. I mean, I take notes on everything, every video, every book I read. And I remember he mentioned your name at the end of the video. I'm like, who's this guy? So I searched your name up, and I was watching your videos. I'm like, hey, this guy's done over 100 million revenue. Like this is crazy. I didn't know this industry was like our drop shipping is just crazy. And I just started watching you guys' videos every day. When I'm at school, I'm always listening to it. I remember every time you go live with somebody on like one of these, I'm always listening to it in class, in history class all the time. Mark goes live when I'm in math class. My teacher, like, man, I can't stand school. They walk because I'm always taking notes. I either have my book out right here, just taking notes,
Wow.
or, or I'm just listening to podcasts and I just don't know. I don't know what she says. So um, that's what I'm doing at school. But I just kept listening, and I heard Mark say something about BBA. I'm like, you know what? I have this money. I want to invest in myself because hold on. I've always had the hunger. I have the
Mhm.
hunger like insane. Like if someone tells me to get some work done, I will get it done. I just don't know where to go. Like I just needed guidance. That's when I also
Mhm.
found Jesus. I gave my life to Jesus Christ, and now he's opening doors for me. And I'm getting really into the spiritual world. And ever since I did that, it's been opening doors. And then I joined BBA, made a big investment, and it's been amazing. I've met lots of people, and the main reason I joined was just connect with you guys. I wanted to be connect with the higher up, but thing is that in every person's journey, like you want to connect with the higher up people, and you're too good for your old friends, but you don't have the results to speak for yourself.
Mm.
That's the predicament I'm in because I have all these inputs in. As Mark said, he said your results are the lagging indicator of your inputs. All my inputs are set, but my results are still lagging. So I haven't had results yet with like this ecom business, but I also haven't posted any videos or anything. I just been going insane on research. It's been one weekend it was in 2 days I put 30 hours in to competitor research. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw you have these like crazy notes, right? When you do the research, like you
yeah,
just
it's
think so deep.
I also utilize AI. For anybody watching this, please utilize AI. It's gonna be insane. I can't emphasize that enough. Even in the next year, like it's insane. So utilize AI, but you also want to think too yourself because I think one of the mentors in BBA said it's 90% AI and it's 10% your brain. So you also want to use your brain power also.
For sure.
Yep.
What are you researching right now? Like which category you want to get in?
Men's skincare. Because I mean, I don't know if I should mention my marketing angle on here, but I think everybody's gonna know my brand because my brand's gonna be my last name. It's gonna be Usman. So
Uh-huh.
I don't know, but yeah, I'm gonna be fulfilling a big market gap, and that's why I want to communicate with all the big BBA coaches about my idea because I think it can produce lots and lots of money because the market gap is huge, and if I execute in the right way, it's over. So that's why I've been seeking guidance. And for anybody watching, if you have the hunger and like the drive, you just need guidance, right? You just need someone to tell you what to do. That's why, Akos, my coach, he's been great. He's been telling me what to do. Shout out to him. And Mark, he's been insane. I've been communicating with him too. I joined every single live, watch every single video. So I also watch Alex, your videos every single time. It's just you're gonna go through a period where you're just putting in so much work, you're not gonna see results, which I'm still in right now. I don't want to speak too much on that because I don't have the results to speak for me. So once I have the results to speak to me, I could, vouch for everybody that, my journey, but I still don't have the results to speak for myself yet.
My man, it's yeah, like you said, it's a lagging indicator. Like you put the work in. Like I remember when I was starting out, it was the same. I was like putting the work in, and nothing seemed to click. And then at some point, it's like a tipping point. It's like boom, and the results start coming in. It's like why that happens. Like I mean, that happened because of the work you put in like 6 months ago.
It's draining. It definitely is. And I remember like so much times I'm just in a spot where like I don't know where to go. That's why, I try reaching out to you guys every single time, like texting people. But the thing is that it's hard to connect with people that are really high up because, you're not important to them. As hard as that sounds, you're not bringing value to them. Cause I heard a lot of people say, if you want to make connections with people, you have to provide some type of value to them, which I don't have a lot of results to speak for myself. The only thing I could provide is being a trustworthy individual. So, that's always good to have. So that's the only value I could really bring right now. So that's the angle I'm going at. You need to provide value to somebody if you want to connect with them.
Man, I mean, you have, I mean, the attitude and the mindset you have, like at 17, is like, it's
Yeah, I appreciate that, man.
incredible. It's because this is the foundation of everything, right? Like the tactics, like strategies, like all of those things, they're accessible. Like, so even like in BBA or like in other like programs, even on YouTube, there's so much content, right?
Mhm.
But it's like people watch it, but they don't do anything with it.
Yep.
And so you taking notes, you're learning from it, you're accumulating the skills, and then like even like some of the previous like interviews I did like on my channel. I don't know if you probably watched some of those. It's the same thing. It's like you're accumulating the skills, you're accumulating the skills, you're accumulating the skills, and it's like nothing seems to be clicking. And then at some point, just boom, like everything just starts getting that momentum. So you will absolutely fucking crush, my man. Like you're
Man.
young, you're starting early, you're hungry. Like this is the foundation.
Yep. Because I'm actually moving to Miami this year.
Let's go.
I'm visiting in the beginning of March with my mom because my mom believes in me. She wants me to succeed in this stuff. And, at first, my parents thought it was just a little side hustle, like, oh, he's going to quit. But they've seen I've been consistent for like a year and a half now, like almost 2 years, every single day. I mean, in the beginning, I wasn't as locked in. Obviously, I was strong on my phone still. I was still in bad habits, etc. But, since December, it's been just straight grind every single day. And my mom sees that, so she believes in me. But my dad, on the other hand, he's a landscaper. He has his own landscaping business, and he makes good money off of it. But the thing is that he wants me to take over that, but he uses all his time and energy to get money. And he, in the summer, and when it's like 100 degrees, he's working 12 hours a day outside every single day of the summer. And I'm like, yeah, you're making money, but you're using all your time and energy. You're going to be worn out. And I don't think that's worth it. And he has a different mindset than me. He grew up differently, so I understand he has a different perspective. But he doesn't understand like how much potential that the internet has to make money. And a couple months ago, I've been in football for lots of years now. I was gonna be pretty good. I probably could have went D1, but I'm like, this is not what I want to do. This is not gonna make me happy. So I'm like, Dad, I don't want to play football anymore. Because this past season, oh my gosh, it was the hardest thing. Because it was 3 hours a day of football after school. So I was gone 12 hours a day and I couldn't spend time working on business. So it was, man, I can't, those times were hard because, at football, because I'm a kicker. So, and my friend, he's a really good kicker. He might go pro. So I was the backup at the time. And, I can't do anything about that because he was a year older than me. And every single day, it was just me sitting there and I couldn't do anything. I couldn't work. I was just sitting there for 3 hours every day, just like thinking, I'm like, I could be using this time to be working on business. And it was just like the hardest thing because nobody understood. And I told my dad a couple months ago, I'm like, Dad, I don't want to play football. And that's when he called me a disappointment and a quitter. I was like, all right, that's all right. He doesn't believe in me. And he called me a disappointment. And that's when I'm like, all right, this is giving me the fuel. I'm not going to take it as an insult. This is the fuel to keep going. And, my dad doesn't believe in me. And, he says he does, but truly, I know he doesn't. My intuition's understanding. So I understand things, that's my intuition, like emotions, thoughts, etc. And I told him, I wish I wouldn't have told him my goals because he asked me what I'm going to do after high school because I'm graduating early this year in December. And, I told him, I said, I'm moving to Miami and I'm going to be an entrepreneur. I'm going to, make connections and put myself in that environment. And, he was like smiling, laughing at me. And I was like, all right, it's all right. And my mom, I've been talking to her and, she's in for it. But the thing is that she said that she'll help me go there as long as I go to community college, but I'm going to drop out. I'm going to drop out once I think I'll have income before then anyways. But I mean, it would only be like, it would only be like virtual online, like twice a week for classes.
Hmm.
Uh, I would take business class, but I don't want to learn from fake teachers, like because all those guys are fake teachers. I'd rather learn from you guys. Like that's, I mean, I could go more in depth on everything, but like it's just like I don't want to learn from the fake teachers because they might have the information and knowledge on like finance, but they don't have the experience for connections and all that other stuff. So I don't know what I'm gonna do yet in there, but I'm gonna drop out anyways. So yeah, I'm visiting in March and I'm looking at houses with my mom.
What dates, my man?
It's gonna be the beginning of March, like March 5th or something. But I think you guys are gonna be in Dubai, right? You have the
Yeah. So our event is until like March to our elite mastermind in Dubai. Yeah, we might come back until then. So
oh,
we'd
all
love
I
to,
know, yeah, all I know it's the first weekend of March. So whatever
okay.
day that is,
We'd love to meet you in person.
for sure. That's my goal, man. That's why I joined all this stuff. Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. But
100.
yeah, yep. I just don't know. Well, I do know I'm gonna have a business by then. I'm gonna have good income coming in to buy a house. But really, what makes me happy is being in a warm climate, being around people that are better than me, and just having an apartment. Like the city generally makes me happy. I don't know what is like what's about it, but it just makes me happy. So I'm putting myself in that environment to where it's inevitable for me to succeed. Because like I said, right now I'm in Chicago. It's really bad weather here. It's like 0 degrees right now, and it's just negative people, bums. I mean, I'm surrounded by some success, but not to the level where I would want to be. And it's just like when you can't, some people can't move across the country like I'm going to be able to, like they have to take care of family or they got a job, etc. At least try to prime your environment of where you're at. That's how I'm doing it. I moved my whole setup in my closet here just so I could work in the dark because Mark said to work in the dark.
I saw the photos, man.
Yep. Man, and then I out there. I mean, I don't know if you want me to show you or not, but my vision boards, like,
Can you bring your laptop? Like, is it moving or
yeah,
this computer?
yeah,
Yeah.
I could bring it.
Show me. I think also for other people, because like the environment is so crucial, like
Sure.
for you to be productive. Wow, you have your vision board.
It's just like, well, I had those before, but I upgraded to, this my whole wall. It's like over 250 pictures, like Miami, Dubai, all that other stuff. And here's my avatar wall. It's all those papers are like descriptive things about my customer. So I'm really going in depth on like understanding my customer. But yeah, that's all I have out here. And then I just go in my closet right here so I can work in the dark. Yep. But yeah, I'm really excited to change my environment. It's something that really deep inside me, like I know I have to do it, and no one else around me, understands. So I'm just trying to move that place where I could connect with you guys, connect with bigger people. Like I want to be surrounded by people that are better than me. Not to sound like I have a high ego right now of where I'm better than everybody else, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, 100%, man. I mean, for me, like so I'm from Ukraine, and then I moved to Poland. We also lived in Malta, and then like every time we would move to another country with my wife, we would choose a country with a better environment, like simple as that. And then we would try, like, even in that country, we would choose the city and the kind of the conglomeration where all the best people live. Like where all of the like people that make good money, like growing business, like growth oriented. Like, so we would try to basically be in that environment. Like that's why we moved to United States. That's why we moved to Miami. And like it's been so impactful for the business. I think it's one of the most important things you can do as an entrepreneur.
Yeah, I heard that Miami's pretty insane. Like all the econ people are down there. So I kind of got FOMO because I'm not down there right now. I still got, I think it's 328 more days until I graduate, and I'm moving out 10 days after that or so. So I'm counting every day. And I also got affirmation things like I write down every day. It states, I am living in Miami in 2026 with a 6-figure a month business. I write that every single day. It's been since November 29th. I've been writing that 11 times a day. So yeah, I'm just really manifesting everything. And I'm just waiting for the doors to open. And I think this is like, I was sitting in class yesterday and my coach was texting me. He's like, yeah, Alex wants to have an interview with you. I've never felt like I'm like, this is finally happening. Like I've been trying to connect with these people for so long. And I was so happy.
I'm sorry, like it's just, yeah, it's like my schedule. I mean, Mark's schedule as well. Like we're just like back to back to back, and It's just but I think that just demonstrates, like, because you've been relentless in communicating with us. And I think that just like everything in life, like, let's say you want to get in touch with someone, you message them once, you message them twice, 3 times, 5 times. And I've had that in my experience. I mean, I want to reach out to some people and they're not responsive from the first time, and then I message second time and third time and fifth time and 10th time. Like, I connected with one of the like PayPal mafia guys. I connected with many people this way. And it's just incredible, like, what you can do with this kind of like relentless attitude. Because what it reminds me of, like, usually people that are kind of like higher up, like in like in business and in other areas, they're usually busy, but they also like recognize they usually like the same way. They usually get things in life, but being relentless.
Yeah.
And when they see that someone else is relentless, someone's trying to get in touch with them, they notice it. And so I think it's a great lesson. That's why I always tell people, like, someone wants to like get in touch with me, just message me on Instagram. And if I don't respond, follow up. And if I don't respond, follow up. And then at some point, I'll respond. We'll figure out how we can help each other. And but this is such an important attribute of, if you want to get anything in life, there's like a person, or there's some people who can help you to get what you want faster, who can assist you, who can guide you, who can point you in the right direction. But from your side, you have to be relentless and just kind of hammer them.
Yeah, the hard thing is, though, that most people like they get so much messages, they're like, I don't know, like, you just got to provide some type of value, which I know it's hard if you don't have anything. I mean, I haven't figured all that stuff out yet, so I can't speak upon that in more depth. But like, you just got to provide value in some sort of way.
For me, the value, like, even having like conversations, like, this conversation that we're having, for people, like, it's inspiration. Like, someone is like watching this, maybe your age, maybe a little bit older, maybe in college, and like considering starting the business, already has a business, should they go all in? And they see all of the things that you do. It's like, oh, okay, wow, this is possible. So now it's like, boom, kind of like opens the possibilities for them. So I think, like, I mean, you're on a good track, my man. You will absolutely crush. I know I have a guy here. I don't know if you know, he's in TikTok. He's doing like TikTok. Jimmy Farley.
I don't know. I know there's one guy my age that you had an interview with. I think his name's Cena.
Oh, Cena, yeah, from Canada.
Yep.
Yeah, Cena. Yeah, did you connect with him?
I tried texting him, but he hasn't responded in like 3
okay,
weeks.
I'll introduce you guys. Yeah, you guys are very similar. You guys are both like relentless.
Yeah, I know he's a hard worker.
Yeah, exactly. So, and it's fascinating to me. Like, I started my business, I was like 25 years old, like 25, and then 26 when I started getting traction. And so you guys are starting so early, like, that's incredible. Like, and then like you starting at the age when AI is so powerful already, and becomes even more powerful year over year. So it's incredible what you guys can do, like, with all of that technology. So how do you personally like leverage AI for yourself? Like, what do you use? Do you use ChatGPT? Do you use any other tools? And in what specific use cases you're using AI?
That's a great question. I use ChatGPT, and I've been training it for hours and hours. In class, I have a specific AI for like history. I have a specific AI for horticulture. I have everything. And what I do is I just share the document from my school computer to this computer, because they block it on the other one, obviously. And then all I do is just copy everything, and I paste it, and I just write this in 5th grade reading level and teacher proof. So and you get E pluses on the assignments every time. But really, you have to utilize AI, especially if you're not trying to pursue school, because it's saving you time and energy to work on business. So that's why I'm like, nobody around me like utilizes it. It's insane. I'm the only one. Nobody.
For real?
I mean, if they might use the Snapchat AI, but that thing's garbage. I'm talking about like actually, like, I'm like, you guys don't even know about AI. They're like, I don't really know.
Like, other people in your school, in your class?
Yep, they don't even know about it.
That is crazy, man. Why though? I mean, like, did they see you doing it?
I tried telling some people about it, and they just laugh at me, saying like I'm just like I'm a weird person for using. Like I'm like this is the future. Even I try to tell my parents, I'm like they use their time and energy trying to research something. I'm like just ask the AI, and they're like, no, I don't want to use the AI and stuff. I'm like in the next couple of years, it's gonna be crazy. That's also with like AI. I don't want to get behind because I know it's gonna be so crazy. That's why I started young because I'm like I don't want to get behind to where it's gonna get so complicated and so like AI. I don't know how the UGC is gonna work in the next year. It's gonna be insane. But I use it for school and for business I use it every single day. I really use it for everything, for notes. And what I also do is for you to sound more professional, you want to make an AI that has text refinement. So what you do is you create the AI, tell it what to do, and it's mine's just like text refinement. So I write out a text, and what I do is paste it into there, and it redefines it in a professional manner, and it uses different words to emphasize my problem or my sentence better, and I send it to people. I also use that for like connecting with suppliers. I write out the text and I send it to them just so you sound more professional because it's the way you perceive or present yourself. So, and when people perceive you in that way, they're like, "Oh, this guy's professional. This guy's legit." So that's one of the main things I use it for. It's really crazy where that's taken me. Utilize AI for text refinement to sound more professional. I use it in every single way possible. I mean, for business, for school. I mean, school, it's been a lifesaver. And soon, I don't know what AI is going to take. Like, they could probably go into your doc one time and just do all the work for you eventually.
Yeah,
It's going to be crazy. So that's
yeah,
why, I don't want to get left behind. AI is going to be taking over. And what people are going to be competing on in the future, big businesses, is just going to be systems. And AI is going to just, solve so many things. I don't know where it's going to go. I'm kind of scared for that. I'm not going to lie. But, you can't be scared of it. You just got to utilize it to your advantage, which nobody around me, no teachers use it, no students use it. I'm the only one. It's crazy.
wow, man, this is incredible because I thought it's like even from like I mean it's a shortcut, right? Like it's
Sure.
like the same as I mean in school. I was in school, I was like trying to sit to the smartest kid in that in my class and kind of like see what
Yeah.
they do.
Yep.
Now it's like I mean you have that assistant pretty much in front of you, and it's fascinating that people are not taking advantage of it.
It's insane. I'm like disappointed. I tried telling people, I'm like, why are you using all your time and energy to do this work? I mean, back to the classes, I don't use it for math because I still have to learn it for test. But that's the only class I have tested, really. So every other class is just assignments and then it's like an essay. So I just utilize AI for all that stuff. Like, why would I use my time if I don't have to memorize anything? I just could use
Mhm.
AI. But for math class, I do get help in the library and all that stuff. Um, but otherwise, like other than that, like you said, utilize it in that way. And it's just crazy how people don't use it. Like I don't understand. I mean, obviously they don't have the business mindset and their mind's so full of static. They don't understand. I could go into the school system in America. I mean, it's cooked. Like it's just brainwashing and actually the school system was made for factory workers from the Rockefeller or it was founded by the Rockefeller Foundation in around 1800s or something like that. And it was made for factory workers and the system has never changed, which I'm actually glad it's never changed because then it would be harder for me to get ahead of people. But when you're the odd one out in that system, you're ahead of everybody else, so it just makes it easier. So I'm glad the system is like that, even though I have to sit in it for another 10 months, 11 months. I'm glad it's like that because it just makes me have a competitive advantage.
For sure, my man. Like, what is the what's kind of like in all of your drive, right, that you currently have, like where that comes from, like because you're so driven, right? Like you have these goals, you establish the vision, you have the vision for your life, how it's going to go. Like where that started for you, like why you decided to just these are quite radical decisions, right? Like you know getting out school, like kind of like going entrepreneurship paths, right? Like more risky, for most people. Most people just like wouldn't want to take that like leap of faith. Where that came from for you?
Well, I've always had like I said before in the beginning, I've always had the side hustles. In sixth grade, 2019, I was selling chips. Wasn't making a lot of profit, but it was something that's where it all started. I was selling chips. I've always also had the creative mind. So I created things, but the school system kind of destroyed that. So it's coming back now though. But yeah, I was always creative. Always had the side hustles. So in 6th grade, I was selling chips. 7th grade, I remember during COVID, I still have this text. I'll never forget it. Like I was like, oh, I want to get into drop shipping because I used to see those ads when I was in 6th grade during COVID. And I remember like I was like, I want to join this. So I booked it was like a public call with this one guy. And I remember I was gonna join and I was too scared to join. And I was like, I never and then I just like left that. And I wish I would have obviously I was too young anyways. I probably had like $20. But still like I remember I was too afraid to join that call. I was too afraid to speak up because, I'm an introvert and I was just too afraid and I didn't want to get started. And then that's when the perspective came in of drop shipping's dead. Drop shipping is it's not true. Like, but it just drop shipping will never go away. It's a fulfillment model and it just evolves in different ways. So that's what I've learned. And past that 7th grade, I did something. I don't remember though, but that's when I started getting lost with girls and all the other stuff. And that's when the algorithm with TikTok used to take over me. Like, man, I was just a bum. But 8th grade, I remember I used to I was like, all right, I'm gonna start a business cleaning cars. So I started doing that. I didn't make a lot of money though, and I ended up quitting because in the beginning, like I didn't know what to do. And I remember I had $8 and I was just cleaning cars. And then freshman year, so 2022, I was like, all right, I gotta figure something out. And I tried doing other things online. I'm like, this is all dead. So I quit that. And then 2023 came around. I was a sophomore. So or September 2023, that's when I started the clothing brand stuff. And ever since then, it's just been carrying on. And that drive, like you said earlier, it just comes from like me wanting to provide for people because that's God's purpose for me. I want to provide for people. Every weekend in Miami, I want to go back, give back to people, spread the gospel, all the other stuff, because that's what I told God. I said, if you get me to where I want to be, provide me wealth and abundance, I promise you I will spread your name and I'll give back to people. That's what I like doing. I like giving back to people. Even since I was young, I used to give people money and waters and food when I had nothing. So that's my purpose. That's what drives me. And then, the main thing is just being in the city, warm climate, being in the high rise in Miami, like that just like it just makes me happy deep down. So that's the main driver. And I also want to retire my godmother because I actually grew up my babysitter, which I was basically there for 6 years, basically my second house. I grew up with a Muslim family from Indonesia, and that's my godmother. So I want to retire her and her family. That's one of my goals. And yeah, she works really hard, and she's getting really depressed because she lost her whole family. They passed away, and her brothers and sisters and her mom. And she's working 2 jobs right now, and she's really struggling. So one of the things I want to do is provide for her, buy her a house. And I told her I would. I said in 2026 or 2027, you're not gonna have to worry about any of this stuff. I'm gonna buy you a house. I'm gonna provide for you. That's what I told her. That's another driver. And another driver is just showing my dad what's all possible, and also my uncle. He's a really good entrepreneur, and now he's in this he's working for a company now because he sold his business, but he got depressed because he didn't have anything to do. But I don't know if he got depressed, but he was getting bored and sad because he had nothing to do. So now he's working for this company, like it's called Ellis. Like they put cameras in water parks and stuff. So he's like one of the presidents there. And I think he's going to Dubai next week to do some stuff. So that's pretty cool. But they think everything's a joke because I'm young. Like they just don't take me seriously. So yeah, I'm just trying to show them it's all possible, and that's where the drive comes from.
My man. And I've noticed that people that have this like big reason why, not just like a surface level, but like the one you have where you want to impact other people, help other people. Yep. Sometimes, prove other people wrong. I also have that. And it's that's what drives you through the tough times. Because in business you have good times and you have bad times. Yep. And through those tough times, you have to have that big reason why to continue pushing, continue adapting, continue okay, it didn't work out, let's try another way until it works out. And so you have that, like I said, you have all of the prerequisites because I had conversations with at this point like thousands of entrepreneurs, and I see these common threads, right? Like seeing someone young like you who's who's on a path to just absolutely like crush, in life and business. And so yeah, you'll crush, my man.
Man, I'm just waiting for that turning point to come. I've been waiting. Which yesterday, I mean, 2 days ago, I was stressing out. Like I didn't know what to do. I was stressed out. I didn't know where to go. And that's why I'm like, all right, I just gotta keep working every single day because it's around 10 to 12 hours a day. I'm working, just doing mostly just research, but it's hard because I'm doing all this research, but the results aren't showing yet. And I know it's hard, but every day it's just like 10 to 12 hours. And I want to mention before I forgot so much stuff, man. There's so much stuff on this thing I haven't mentioned, but I was trying to get a job at Walmart in the summer because my parents would tell me I needed a job because that's when I had like $200. I didn't have my clothing brand drop yet. And I worked at Walmart. So my first day was like beginning of August before I had my drop. So I still didn't have any money. But after on August 10th, I had the big day of 8 grand in 30 minutes. I had to go clock in at Walmart and work for people. And it was the hardest thing. I'm like, I just made more money than I'll ever make, like working at this place. And it was just like, I mean, the job wasn't bad. I just had to do online orders and just like scan items, but it was just like still $15 an hour. It sucked. And I ended up quitting like a week and a half after I first worked there. I couldn't stand it. I can't stand working for people. And it was just like, I looked around, everybody just looked dead. Like it was just, people just accepted their fate and just their work. Like some people were like, have been working at Walmart there for like 30 years, 35 years. I'm like, that's awful. And yeah, so I worked at Walmart too. I just want to mention that. And I quit around a week and a half later.
Man, it's I think that's a path that like you said, it's been brainwashed for many, 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 many years, right? That
Yeah.
this is the path. Like you go get a job in a company, and then you work there for 40 years, and then hopefully you retire. If countries won't be bankrupt, right? Like, I mean, population gets older, and they need to pay more and more money in retirement, and then it's kind of like people just kind of like accepted that is the truth. Like the same way people accepted that it's the truth to, okay, first you go to college, you go to like university or something, right? You have this like standard path. You end up with tens of thousands, hundreds of $1,000s like in student loans. Then you get married or whatever, like you buy a house, right? Like it's kind of like it's been so established, and it's been like so brainwashed, like that kind of like that typical path for people. And what we are trying to do like is to basically kind of like go against all of that was established, kind of create the new path, right?
Yes.
And then to show people like the new path that could be taken, because your success, like once you become successful, the side effect of that, like you said, besides just impacting people around you, is that you'll also show other people what's possible. Someone will see, okay, wow, Ethan was able to do it. Like he did this and this. Okay, maybe I should do it as well. Like even like people watching this interview right now, like, oh, okay, there's a different path. There's alternative paths that can be, could lead me to freedom. It won't be like instantaneous, and it definitely won't be easy, but it's worth it because like you dedicate 5, 10, 15 years to the business. I mean, you can set yourself for life, your family for life, and help many other people. If you just work like a standard job, like the amount of impact that you can have on other people is very limited.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's going to suck at the beginning, which I'm still in that spot, man. I can't say like I made millions of dollars already, but it sucks right now. I mean, especially being in this environment, that's the main indicator of like everything. That's why I'm trying to leave. I know it's going to be a big a game changer when I'm out in Miami. It's going to be insane. I've never been there though, so I've only been to Orlando, but it's going to be crazy because, I'm just going to be surrounded by success. It's going to make it inevitable. And right now it's just, I've been sitting in my room every single day, just grinding. I join every call. Well, like every call with Mark. I watch the lives, everything. It's just a grind, and you're not going to see results. I mean, some people can take 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years. But just know at the end of the tunnel, it's gonna happen. And that feeling, I could vouch for this. Like when I had the big clothing brand job, the feeling of everything paying off is insane. Like the dopamine, the accomplishment you feel, it's insane.
100%, man. So how was that decision for you I mean, because you paid for mentorships, right? And this is also kind of like, that's not like what everyone does, right? People trying to figure it out by themselves. Usually what happens is that they try it, most likely it doesn't work, like most of the cases, 99% cases. And then, they get demotivated and they quit, right? Or they're trying to do something else. So how was that decision to invest in mentorship, even though like you didn't have much money? How was that decision? How did that decision come to you?
Well, I don't remember it. Or yeah, I remember now. It was I was just scrolling on YouTube, searching up clothing brands because I wanted to learn on YouTube without putting lots of money out there. And I came across this one guy. He's one of those clothing brand gurus, like like he just does it for money. He sells his lifestyle, but all that other stuff. But I'm like, all right, I'm gonna buy this guy's course, and it was $500. I don't remember. I think I don't remember how much money I had, but I think it was less than that. And I just had to get a loan from my parents of like a couple $100 to pay it off. And I paid that. And then that's when I tried beginning. Like the mentorship was so bad. Like I want to say one of my coaches was good. He was a good coach, but the main guy, it was just so bad. Everybody in there in that thing, since it was like a low ticket, course, everybody in there was like, it wasn't like entrepreneurship level. It was just hustlers. Like
Mhm.
not even be hustlers, because there's a difference between businessmen and hustlers. Um, most of the guys in there weren't even hustlers. Like they're not locked in. Like they're just bums. They're just trying to get money, like side money. Like it was just pretty awful. You want to watch who you surround yourself with and who you talk to, because most of those guys they don't even really care. They just think everything is just easy and they're just gonna get money. And it was
Yeah.
just bad mentorship in general. But I just invested that money because I just wanted to get mentored one on one, which those guys are like, get mentored by me about like a one on one call, but they never join. It's like some other coach or training that teaches everybody. Like he never really interact with us, which you do. In BBA, he has calls with us sometimes. Alex is a good coach, so I recommend joining BBA. But those coaches, like in the clothing brand, like they never really had one on one, and it was just bad. And I was actually skeptical on joining this course because or just it's not even really a course, it's community, because you meet lots of people. And I was like, BBA, like I don't know. I mean, I don't know if this is gonna be a good course. I don't know if this is more guru stuff. But at the I had to call a Jew on, and I was like, all right, this sounds legit. I'm gonna do it. So I did it, and it's actually gonna be the best investment I've ever made. And this is not like BBA is not some guru course. It's insane. I could vouch for it. The connections, the communication, everything is great. It's like no other does it like nobody else does it like BBA. And I can't imagine what ESS has to offer.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much. Yeah, because we take it seriously. Like it's
Yeah.
in terms of like we structure this like the way we treat it. I think a lot of people treat mentorships like as a hobby or like a side income, just to make like extra money. We
Yep.
treat it as a business. Like we have systems on the back end. We have
Yeah.
like we use like $100,000 CRM to basically manage like all of the like where students are, like where they're getting stuck. We're analyzing the data. Okay, so at which stage of the process it's the most confusing, like okay, let's replace this training, let's update this training, let's change something, let's bring like an external expert, what other calls we have to add, what calls we have to remove, what information students need. And then also ranking all of the calls after one-on-one calls. We have this like ranking system, like how would you rate the conversation you had with your coach. And then we're evaluating all the data. Okay, who's from our coaches needs feedback, right? And so pretty much like treating it as a business. And it took like so much time to build, and we're still building it every day. But I think that's what because I've been through other like you, like I've been through in my lifetime. I spent, I mean, 100 like $500,000 like easily on education courses, mentorships, masterminds. Even like this year we spent, I mean, not this year, but last year we spent like hundreds of thousands of dollars on education, coaches, mentorships, consulting calls for myself, for our team. So we believe in this ourselves, and we're investing it for our team as well. And and then we see what's good and what's bad about each one of those, and then we just like take the best ones. Okay, so wow, this was a good one, let's implement it in our business. And yeah, I'm proud of BBA, of ESS, of the communities we have. And I'm excited to see. I mean, I think you're one of these guys that, like, Sina is already in ESS, and so Yeah, so he's in ESS already. So I want to let's get you some momentum, get you traction, get you in ESS, like to help you blow it up, so you can impact people, you can help people, you can achieve the goals and your vision in life.
For sure. I'm gonna share my my vision with you guys in private, like my marketing angle. It's gonna
Yeah.
just really think I want honest feedback from all that stuff, but I really think it's a big market gap I could fulfill, and I'm just want to hit the big days just to show people it's all real. Like all this stuff is real, and like you said, that's what differentiates you or your business from others. Like the platform that we're on, school, it's all professional. It's actual business. Like all the other websites are the discords, like communities, like it's all like trash stuff. This is actually professional. You know, it's high quality.
Thank you, my man. Yeah, and also would love to help you with direction on your business, because I see many businesses. We run our business, so there's many things, many mistakes that could be avoided. So I want to help you and guide you to help you blow it up.
For sure.
Awesome, Ethan. That was a tremendous conversation. I think it's not the first conversation. It's not, sorry, it's not the last conversation that we will have. I think it will be. I like to establish these benchmarks. In the next conversation we'll have when you earn 100K per month. That's the next stop for you.
For
And
sure. For that.
so yeah, let's make it happen. So grateful for you to trust in Mark and me joining our community. It's not an easy decision, like you said. It's like most people are skeptical. I'm
Yeah.
sometimes skeptical, when like joining like masterminds and communities. But then like looking back, like those were like some of the best decisions I've ever made. Like kind of like you join the community, you meet someone, they give you a pointer, they connect you to another person, boom, your business doubles, triples, quadruples, 10x. Like it's
Yep.
that's because those people have been through all of the stages that I'm going through right now, and they can help me to avoid some of the mistakes, or help me with some guidance and direction, or even reinforce what I already know. Sometimes in the back of your mind, you know what you need to do, right? You just need someone to tell you like this is the right thing to do, and then you fuck yes, let's roll. Like now it's kind of like having that extra like reinforcement. That's also super powerful. So yeah, my man, thank you so much for your trust.
For sure.
Excited to see your growth, your evolution, your mindset. Like even locking in like at 17, it's hard, man. Like imagine like all of the like, I mean, there's girls, there's social media, there's friends, there's like so many things, and you just like made that decision to to basically isolate yourself, cut yourself all of those distractions, because you know that your vision and your reason why in life is so much more important, and you're willing to take this sacrifice and go all in on your dreams.
Yep. That's how it is.
Cool, my man. All right, thank you so much, Eden. Thank you everyone for watching, for listening in. Yeah, Eden, looking forward to your next breakthroughs.